Hello and welcome to another edition of Full Throttle Interviews. With me today, I have Ava. Ava, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So for
Uh,
starters, I I want to ask you, what type of cars do you race?
I race in Formula 4 in the United States Championship.
Okay. And how long you been doing that for?
I just started this year in January, but I just recently turned 15, so my first race was at Mid-Ohio.
Mid-Ohio. So one of the questions I always ask um a new racer, and everybody has a different answer. What are your goals in racing?
Well, one day I would like to become an IndyCar driver, and it's always been like a dream of mine, but just to like always like learn new stuff every time I'm on the track.
All right. So, what got you interested in racing? I mean, is racing in family, or how did
Yeah.
you get involved in racing?
So my dad used to race, and his dad used to race, so he took me to a indoor like rental karting thing, and I got into it. We met some people that did like go-karting, and then they got us hooked up with Jamie from Franklin Motorsports, and it just kept going on from there.
Well, so Ava, so you say IndyCar is the path you want to go to, or is NASCAR an option too?
Honestly, if I'm racing, it's all good, but I would love to do IndyCar someday.
Yeah, and being a next Danica Patrick,
Yeah.
are you is she like a role model in racing for you?
Honestly, I looked up to her for a while when she did race, but now I look up to people like Lewis Hamilton, and I get a lot of inspiration from him.
Lewis Hamilton. Awesome. So tell tell, tell our viewers what it's like to be a young race car driver, having the passion you have for racing and everything like that.
It's really exciting because you get to go to like all these tracks that like everyone talks about for like, and you get to meet so many new people and have a lot of new experiences and just learning like how to race a race car and just always learning something new everywhere you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me, so is your dad and family your biggest influence in your racing career?
Yes.
Awesome. How, how much advice does your dad give you since he used to race?
How much what?
How much advice does your dad give you? Like,
Oh, he gives me a lot. Like everywhere we go, like it doesn't matter if I've been to that track 100 times, he always gives me something new. And I always take his advice because he knows what he's doing.
yeah, don't most parents.
Yeah.
So, Ava, I want to put you in my your shoes for a second. So what was that first conversation like when you were like, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna follow in Dad's footsteps? Because you don't hear too many females wanting to do that.
Yeah. My mom wasn't like really fond of it, but she supported me through it. And my dad was obviously all for it. He was like, let's do it. I was like, okay. So this is what we're doing.
So was that conversation over dinner?
It was just like a regular conversation in the living room. It was
Just
like,
a regular conversation and now you're racing.
yeah.
So talk to us about what it takes for you to get your track. Who's your biggest supporter besides mom and dad?
Definitely, I think it would be Jay Howard. You know, he does a lot for me and he helps me a lot learning racing cars now. And he's going to keep being there for me while we do USF and stuff. And just, he's always just been there for me from the beginning of racing cars.
Really? And so, Ava, so one question I always ask people is basically what if you had to say something, what would you say to those females or those people that want to get in racing like you, but are afraid to?
I think that they should just know that, like, you should go for it. Like, try something new, even if you're scared to do it. And, you know, it might be a little scary at first, but you're going to get through it and it's an awesome experience for everyone.
Yeah, so Ava, so talk to us about what your mom and dad do for you while you race.
My dad, he comes to all my races. My mom stays home because she like works a lot, but my dad's always there for me and he helps me a lot, like through everything that I do with racing, and he's always been there for me. And my mom obviously supports me a lot throughout it.
Awesome. So does your dad help you with the car? Does he spot for you or do any of that?
He's a bystander right now. We usually hire like mechanics and like people that help us with the car since I think my dad gets a good understanding of it, but you know, he still hires mechanics and people to help us out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what would you say to a fem what would you say to those people that want to get into racing?
Um, that you should do it and it's honestly worth it because even if you didn't like it, you got to try something new.
Yeah, so who now let's have some fun. Who who's your biggest role model in racing as far as the IndyCar series is um right now?
I think it would be for me it was Pato Award. I've recently been looking up to him a lot and I think he's a really good driver.
Awesome. So you said before you would do anything in racing, but you really want to go into IndyCar. Can you dive into that reason a little bit more? Well,
Yeah, I just really like the open wheel stuff and I just found it really interesting. Like when I was younger, I watched a lot of like Formula One and I thought it was really cool. And I'd love to do something like similar to that, like IndyCar. And you know, I got offered before we were gonna do like Spec Miata and like go like the Trans Am NASCAR way, but I was always more interested into the open wheel stuff. So when Jay gave us an opportunity to race Formula 4, I was like really excited because that's what I've always wanted to do, and it just like went on from there.
well, tell tell my viewers how they can find more information about you. Good. Close us out.
Um, you can look on my Facebook and my Instagram are my main stuff. And I always post on my Instagram and on my Facebook as well. We post a lot of updates and a lot of stuff about our races and how things go throughout the weekend.
Well, awesome. Ava, good to meet you. And we thank you for coming on Full Foggle today.
Thank you.